Hi, team. Okay, so I wanted to make this call tonight about making your story into your message. So I know that I encourage you all to share your story all the time. If you haven't looked at previous team calls, I'm really, really proud about the recording that I did about sharing your story and why it's important in December. So make sure you go back to it and look at it. Okay, so I know I kind of beat that into your head, but that is how you let people know how you separate yourself from any other Beachbody coach. That's why so and so relates to you as opposed to another coach. Okay, because excuse me, how many other coaches are there? There's over 400,000 coaches. You have to make sure that you set yourself apart from other coaches. So by sharing your story, that's how you do it. So make sure you share your story often. Share it like once a week. I know it's definitely a step out of your comfort zone, and depending on how deep you get into your story, it may interfere with some relationships. Like if you have issues with your parents and you talk about them or whatever. So you can go as far into your story or as superficial into your story as you want, but know that you need to make it emotional and that people can relate to you. So anyways, turning your story into your message. So I always say that you have to form. This is huge. I think it's like the fourth vital behavior because that's how you create relationships with total strangers. That's how you get to know people. So, you talk about family, you talk about occupation, you talk about recreation, and then you deliver your message. So make sure you do those three things first, and then you deliver your message, which is also your story and why you are contacting them. People, have things, like red flags that go up when this random person out of the blue that, they liked your picture on Instagram and then you message them. And then you start asking them like where they live and how many kids they have. They know. So make sure that you do your family, occupation, recreation, and then deliver your message. So your message is going to be your story. Hold on one second, Nancy. I'm just going to mute. Okay. Hi. All right. Okay. So make sure that you make your message relatable. So turning your story into your message. I'll give you an example. Okay. Make sure that when you're forming with people that you make it relatable. Say like you find somebody who likes your picture and you say, hey, thanks for liking my picture. Like, where are you from? And they say, I'm from California. I'm just giving examples. So then you say, okay, I'm from California too. It's really nice to meet you. Where are you, and then you let them know about you, they aren't just there and actually responding back to you to just sit there and talk about themselves too. It's a whole conversation. It's a relationship that you're building. Talk about how many kids they have and your kids. And I always talk about like, oh my God, today is crazy, or my kids were actually good for once. It was a good day. I talk about those days and those personal struggles because it makes you more vulnerable and it makes you more relatable. So, so make sure that you keep it relatable. You keep those friends, the conversation about friends, family, occupation, and recreation relatable. You're not going to blow smoke up somebody's butt and tell them that, you served in the military when you didn't, or, that you had a job that you didn't, because that's crazy. So we're never here to lie. We're always here to help, and we're here to connect with people and be relatable with them. So going into that, going with emotion. So you do your first three parts of form. You talk about family, you talk about occupation, you talk about recreation. So then you kind of get to a point, and like, for example, one of the ones I just did, somebody was like, I asked them what they were doing for the weekend, and they're like, oh, I'm going to go to a birthday party and then a meal plan. And I'm like, oh, I could really use meal plan recipe ideas. Like, what are you making this weekend? And then they tell me, and then I say, those all sound amazing. Like you're totally kicking butt in your journey. I would love it. I start off with, you're totally kicking butt in your journey, and I feel like I really click with you. So I kind of want to tell you about something that I'm doing that's changed my life. And I'm not telling you to be obnoxious or anything, but just to tell you that, just let you know about this opportunity that has, given me this leverage in my life and that has changed my life. You can word it however you feel comfortable. I have it specifically written down, and I can post it if you guys want me to, for how it works for me so that I can go off of it. And, everybody has their own way of explaining things. But I start with, I click with you. I'd love to work with you, and I hope that you can be on my team. I talk about how being a coach has changed and helped me with my confidence, with my health, and with my income. I'll say, I'd love for you to be a coach. I just want to tell you about something that's really helped change my life. It's gotten me to a point where I can actually tell my story, and to have the confidence to post things about myself on social media and to be able to help other people. And, you could talk about financially, this last check helped me buy those organic chicken or whatever that I couldn't buy before, whatever it is, talk about, especially kind of get a vibe for the person and like what their priorities are. So like if they're a foodie, you could talk about like the good food that you could afford that you couldn't before, whatever, and then you say, this is a legitimate business. And it really takes care of its employees. You get bonuses with ranks, and you get trip dollars towards the next Success Club trip and stuff like that, So talk about all the good attributes of Beachbody, because there are a lot. So, you can definitely delve into all that. There's tax write-offs that a lot of people don't realize that they could have, like square footage of one of your rooms and your internet and your cell phone and all these things that not a lot of jobs give the tax write-offs to their employees. So we get to take advantage of that as coaches. And then tell them, I thank you for hearing me out. I think that you would be an asset to my team. I really love your vibe. And I always say, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I would love for you to be on our team and part of my tribe. And then I say, just think about it and let me know if you have any questions, and I'll check back with you again. And then in like 2 days, I check back again. And I just say, did you get a chance to read my message? Usually they'll just respond back right away. They don't really think about it or whatever. But you just say, did you get a chance to think about it? What do you think? Do you have any questions? If they say, yeah, what is it all about? Because I had a couple people say, yeah, what is it about? I'll say, okay, my team is hosting a sneak peek next week, or Brittany Power's team is hosting a sneak peek next week. And, you're more than welcome to join the sneak peek. Are you on Facebook? Can you friend me? And then I'll add you to the group, and then I'll follow up with you afterwards. So you guys have the advantage of having a sneak peek every single week. To my knowledge, I'm the only coach on Brittany's team that also does sneak peeks alternate to her. So you guys totally have the advantage that you have a sneak peek to put somebody on, either whether it's mine or whether it's Brittany Powers. So take advantage of it. Okay. People that you don't think would be interested might be interested. And if they're not interested this week, they might be next week. And so make sure that you place them in it, and make sure you ask, because you'd never know until you ask. So make sure you form with them, and then go with emotion, relate to them, throw in there why it would work for them to be a coach. And, there's not a lot of ways that you can go wrong with that, except that their mind is closed to it at this point. And then maybe they'll come around in the future. They say no, just say, okay, thanks. I hope you have a good weekend. And then maybe, a month or so down the road, they'll pick up their health journey, or they will exhibit some kind of sign that maybe they are ready. And then you can follow up again. Just keep an eye on them, but at least they know that you're there. At least they know who you are. At least they can relate to you. And at least they have an idea of what you're all about. So if at any point they're ready to take that leap, they can come talk to you, So do this with at least three new people a day. So there is no doubt 3 new people that like your Facebook posts. Send them that message. You just send them, Instagram posts, because I mostly work on Instagram, so that's what I can relate to. So send them a message. hey, thanks for liking my picture today. I really appreciate your encouragement. Where are you from? Simple as that, and that's where you start the conversation. And then carry it on to family, occupation, recreation, and then deliver your message and get all the feels in there, like make them cry. I don't like be mean and make them cry, but make them find their why and make them dig deep and get there, So that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about as far as turning your story into your message and making sure that you use your story as leverage to get your point across and to stay relatable to your followers. Okay. So I'm going to open it up for questions and discussion. So anytime either of you want to chime in, just let me know if anybody has any questions. Well, this might be a short sneak peek.
Hi. So I don't have so right now I'm doing this to get through my divorce. So how do I turn that into, because I haven't really come out and said, like I have a challenge group right now. And I feel like they're really struggling to find motivation. Like I don't think they work out every day, but some people do because they don't post every day. I have about 9 people, but I think I have about maybe 4 people who are actually doing their program. So like I haven't come out and told them my story. Like, do you think I should do that or no?
Yeah. There's no
You do.
Yeah, because they'll believe in you and they'll trust you and they'll be like, this isn't some chick that's, just here, like I don't even really know her. There's no, if they don't know you, there's no like emotional ties. And if they do know you, then you become friends and then they can refer their other friends to you if they decide that they don't want to be a coach. The most successful coaches are the ones that share their story to at least 2 people a day. So that's a lot, if you think about how many people you come across, 2 people a day, that's a lot. So yeah, make sure you tell them your story, and then if they have any questions or anything, you can always just tell them like, yeah, I'm doing this to get through a really hard time in my life. And it's given me a whole other purpose, that's a really good way to go about it. So it's given me something to focus on other than, the negativity of my divorce. Yeah. Turn that negative into a positive,
Okay, that's a good way of putting it. Because when you talk about something like that, you want to get like really emotional. So I was trying to figure out how to do that without seeming like a pussy.
Yeah, no, totally. And you could throw it out there. I don't know how deep you want to get and how much you want to expose on social media or whatever, because everybody has their levels of comfort with as much as they want to put out there. But girl, you could put out there like, divorce is hard, like I'm stuck in the middle all the time and, your kids and, you could lay it all out there. And there are so many women out there who totally understand where you're coming from. Not to say that that's like a niche, but that's a niche. It's all, for all intents and purposes, you have an audience that not everybody has. And so that could definitely be used to your benefit. You could help a lot of women, especially in that situation where they need to find a purpose outside of focusing on the divorce and everything that goes along with it. So, yeah.
That's a really good point, because I don't know if you guys see that show, Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce.
Oh, yeah.
But that's, that's kind of the whole premise is like, it's like everyone has something that they can share, a story that other people relate to, and that's why people are drawn to you. So I know it's scary. Like, trust me, I was scared to like post pictures in a bikini or whatever. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because from my point of view, I feel like people are like, oh, you're being a show off. Like if you lost weight or if you got in shape and you're doing that, it's kind of like, like getting out of my comfort zone. And like I want to, I'm doing it because I want to share like, hey, this is what worked for me and I want to help you, but I think all of this is just about the great support system that Beachbody is.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's really where I find that it's different than all those other workout programs that people could sign on to, or gyms and stuff. It's about having people to support you. Right. So it's like, it helps you, and it helps those people.
Yeah. And that's good. I mean, that's a good point. When you share your story, like you said, you're sharing what's helped you so that you can help them. Like you totally hit the nail on the head. That's exactly why we share our stories. Exactly why we share our stories. Because there's so many people who can relate to what we've been through. And they say, you know, like they listen to parts of stories and they're like, oh yeah, like I totally have been there. I've done that. I felt that way. And then they're like, you know, they hear it so many times and you know, they're like, okay, now's my chance. Like this is my sign. I'm going to push myself to sign up. I'm going to take that leap of faith, or you know, I'm going to contact her for a challenge pack because that's what's worked for me. So yep, that's exactly right. Share it works for you, and then in the hopes that it helps others. That's exactly what the premise of Beachbody is all about. So most definitely. Did you guys have any other questions or anything to say?
You know, I do about challenge groups. I mean, I'm going to do, I know, have you done a challenge group yet?
I'm doing one right now, my first one.
Okay. Are you doing a free one, or are you doing a free or a challenge, like a 3-week one, or?
No, I'm doing, so everyone has their own program. I think 2 people in the group bought their program through my website, and then there's 2 coaches in the group, and then my sister got mad at me, so she bought it from somewhere else. She didn't buy it from me. And then someone else already had it. Someone else already had the program. And then there's 2 other girls. One is doing a smoothie thing. I don't know how well she's doing on that. I think she did good the first 10 days, and then, you know, it's that liquid diet, so it's a fat diet. And then my cousin, you know, she has the 21-day fix. I sent her mines, and she hasn't really said anything in the group yet. But it's free. It's just do your own workout. Why I do my P90X, you know. But
Yeah.
I'm like motivating, and everyone is sharing and things like that, which is really strange. Because some people's workouts are 21 days, 30 days, and then mine is like 90 days and 60 days. So it's long, and it's I don't think I should have done it like that, but I can't stop. You know, I can't just be like, all right, guys, I'm tired, bye.
Yeah.
So
no, we all do mixed groups. It's totally fine to do multiple programs. You don't have to do them program specific. So
okay.
yeah. Call people out who aren't participating in your group, you know?
That's what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna do. Cause it's like the same people saying things, the same stuff every day, and it kind of gets. I feel like it brings down the morale of the whole group, and it just defeats the purpose of having a challenge group or a motivation group. You know, it just defeats the purpose.
I mean, no matter what group, you will have people who don't participate all the time. All the time. Like more people don't participate than do participate. You'll get those ones, you'll get the ones that do participate, but don't be surprised, or you will be surprised when you follow up with them and they're like, I totally worked out the whole time. I've lost 15 pounds. And you're like, what? Like, where did you come from? You know, be like, you didn't say a word of the challenge groups and you did so well. And so, yeah,
Right.
people are very unpredictable with their weight loss journeys, that's for sure. But you can't make anybody do anything. You can't stand there and hold a gun to their head and tell them, you know, don't eat that cookie or whatever, you know, or did you work out? You do what you can do. But yeah, you'll be surprised how many people are still actually doing it, whether they're participating or not, you know? So,
Right.
yeah.
So I mean, you know, I got this strangest call the other night from my grandma. She's like, "What are you doing? I've been watching you." And then she's like, "I want to do it too." So I sent her my link, and I'm like, "Wow! Like I would have never guessed my grandma."
You're surprised. People come out of the woodwork, and you're like, "What?" Yeah.
So I was like thinking of doing something for spring, you know, we're kind of, you know, like I'm doing a free group starting on Monday, and like, you know, everyone will jump on that one. I'm like, I want to get people like comfortable with what I'm doing. like just, if I can get them there, I'm going to have them I guess my question also is I'm going to have them sign up for the 30-day bod because I'm going to have them stream it, do workouts that way while they're doing the clean eating. So are you, I mean, Brittany, I think you've done that a few times, right? With the clean eating?
Yeah. I did like a 5-day clean eating and bod challenge. And then I would just do like the challenge du jour and make them do it that way. Because there's a different workout every day. And there you go.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah. That way they can like, try out a variety of different workouts, kind of figure out what they want to do. And then they can see the value of Beachbody On Demand because they'll scroll through it and see. And then you could also post on there and be like, dude, did you guys see that you have the whole Turbo Fire program, So, yeah, you could do that. Or you can even talk about how now you can unlock other programs like 25 and Body Beast. You can unlock those now. So you could point that out also. They wanted to do Body Beast for like $20, super cheap. And I love Body Beast. So, yeah.
Well, so if I want to do a 3-week or 21-day challenge one after that, but if you guys have any ideas, like I want to do something spring break themed or, I saw a couple out on Instagram. I know like some of the other groups, like not Brittany related, but your upline, Brittany or upline. But, something like spring break slim down and stuff like that. I've seen some themes out there. And like, if you guys have any ideas or if you guys want to like team up on the next one.
I did. I made a post today that I'll post probably in a couple days for Lucky and Luck boot camp. So, yeah.
I like it.
March themed,
Oh, yeah.
Start March 7th.
Yeah. Okay. So, would you mind if I advertise on the same one? And okay.
We can buddy up. That works.
I'm trying to do that with Team Cup too. So I'm trying to beat my 8. I'm like, man, my best would be 8. Gotta beat it. So I'm trying to get some challenge packs going for many reasons right now.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
So did you guys have any other questions about how to turn your story into your message? I know that it's really hard to step out of your comfort zone and tell your story, but it's definitely worth it. Like I said before, it's how it sets you apart from the other 400,000 Beachbody coaches that are out there. And make sure you follow up with them. Make sure you get emotional. Make them dig deep. It's the same thing when you're selling a challenge pack. And how many times have you sent out an enrollment and people don't follow through with it? Just remind them of their why. You can even ask them when you're forming with them, like, hey, so what made you start your weight loss journey? If they're fairly new at it, you can say, like, what made you start with your weight loss journey? And then they tell you, and you're like, bam, I have the information I need to say, well, I really click with you, and I think this can help you because of A, B, and C, and go with it, and then finish up.
I have this one girl I started a conversation with. She posted on her Facebook. She's been my friend for years, and over the years I just see her getting bigger and bigger and bigger. She has to be at least 350 pounds. And I saw what she went through. She was I guess common law married to a guy. He was cheating on her. And so she kind of broke down, and after that she just spiraled out of control. And so she was posting on her Facebook how she was crying and everything like that. And she said she was working on herself. She wants to better herself and everything. So I inboxed her. I said, hey, I saw your post. I wanted to let you know that I'm going through something similar. I know it can be hard when you have boys, but we have to be strong for our children. And I saw that you want to get healthier or get healthy. What are you doing? And she said, oh, I'm having some type of surgery in June. I said, okay, that's awesome. Do the doctors want you to lose any weight before that? And she's like, yeah, they want me to lose at least 5 pounds a month until June. So I started telling her about the program, and I sent her my before and after picture just to show her what the 21-day fix can do. And she seemed interested, but then she stopped responding.
Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. You'll get
I'm like, and I thought I was doing good. I'm like, yes, but I really want to help her because I know that once she gets into the program, she'll notice that her mood will change, her outlook on life will change,
Yeah,
and
I
everything.
do that all the time. It's like all the time. So,
It's so sad. It's so sad. I'm like, you just don't know,
but
and
people,
I don't know what's holding you back. Is it the money? Like,
it
because I even tell people, I say, you don't have to buy the Shakeology. You can get the program for $60.
yeah, a lot of times they don't have the confidence. They don't think that they can finish it. They're like, "Ooh, 21 days. I don't think I can do that." They don't like the commitment of it. There's a lot of different reasons, and people won't do it until they're ready to do it. So
Mhm.
that's for sure. That is definitely the deciding factor. If as soon as she's ready, I mean, she was running to a weight loss surgery, which isn't a bad thing. I don't really have an opinion on it, except that it is possible. It's possible to lose weight without surgery, and a surgery is a quick fix that's not going to serve a long-term problem. I know many people who have had gastric bypasses and they gain all their weight back, because they don't learn to live a healthy lifestyle. So,
Mhm.
unfortunately for her, I hope that's not the case. But she just might not be ready or have the confidence in herself to make that commitment to herself.
So do I keep reaching out to her, or?
Yeah, just keep reaching out. Be like, hey, I haven't heard from you. How are you? Don't always talk about like the sale,
Right.
I've had so many relationships and that ended up starting off as just friendships, like Nancy. I think we started off as just friendships first, and then she was like, "So what's the coaching thing that you're doing?" So yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
So do you know, I mean, speaking of gastric bypasses, I mean, do you know any that were drinking the shakes after that surgery?
My mother-in-law, she has to
Oh,
get vegan because she's lactose intolerant, but I mean that's because she's lactose intolerant. I don't know if it's necessarily because of the shakes or because of the gastric bypass.
okay.
Yeah, I mean you can drink them.
Okay, I have a friend that she was doing the same thing. And she actually reached out to me and said, hey, do you think it would work with that? So,
Yeah,
yeah.
you could tell her to try regular if she like specifically wants cafe latte or any of the flavors that they have just regular and not vegan. But I think vegan is a little bit easier on the tummy, and I know
Yeah.
that it's hard for them to digest food.
I think, is cafe latte the only one that has milk in it?
No, they all do.
Oh, they all do. Okay, I never paid attention to that. I saw it in the ingredient on, but that's a really good one, by the way. I don't know if you've had it yet.
I have it. My box should be here like in a couple of days. So
It's so good. It's like a coffee. I mean, it tastes like a frappuccino. It's so good.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm happy. Can't wait for it to get here. Yeah. So just make sure that you keep sharing your story, and you tell as many people as possible, and don't be afraid of being obnoxious, because people will either tell you no, they'll ignore you, or they'll tell you yes, and that's all you need to know. I mean, there are people who take a lot of time out of their day to write you a message back that's like, "Stop badgering me" or whatever, and then they go on and on and on and on and on about how they're tired of getting messages from coaches, whatever, like then make your page private, whatever. So it's part of the territory. But a lot of those people don't understand where we're coming from. So don't be afraid to ask questions, and get to know people and let them get to know you and deliver your message with your story.
So do you get, I mean, obviously we all get a lot of coaches liking, our Instagram stuff. I mean, I'm like, most of them are probably coaches, or, what is it called? Rapid or It Works, the other one. So do you follow up like I think a lot of people don't realize they have an inbox on Instagram. I think a lot, because I've messaged people that they follow me and they like all my posts and I know that they're following my journey.
Yeah.
And like they're twin moms and they're also talking about weight loss, but they're not doing anything yet. So I don't know if you just keep on, inboxing them, or, I mean, do you feel, I mean, I guess it won't hurt. I keep doing that.
No, I mean, and you can delete the inboxes. So
What?
and then I'll send another one. So what you can do, so you can tell them like, hey, I sent you a DM the other day. Did you happen to get it? And like, I've had, I think at least two or three people tell me that there's nothing from me in their inbox.
Okay.
So I'm like, well, can you find me on Facebook because Instagram hates me, or something like that. And then they usually will find me on Facebook if they actually cared enough to like look at their inbox or send me their email, whichever one I ask for. So.
I was gonna say, I was like thinking of just posting on one of their things, like, hey, yeah. I was thinking, it's funny, like right when I said it, I'm like, duh. I'm like, why don't I do that? That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could totally do that. Just ask them, like, I sent you a DM the other day. Did you get it?
Okay.
If not, then just say, oh, well, since we're friends and we follow each other all the time, why don't you just add me on Facebook?
Okay.
That simple. So. Do you guys have any other questions?
Sorry, my volume keeps messing with me.
Oh. Yeah, so make sure you talk to 3 new people a day. Make sure you follow up. Make sure that you're telling your story as often as possible, even if it's to somebody at the supermarket in line, whatever it takes. Just put yourself out there. You get as much out of this business as you put into it. So don't be afraid of doing the work if you have big goals, depending on what your goals are. So that's pretty much it, I think. Do you guys want me to post a script of my paragraph that I send when I tell them my story? Okay. All right. To make it my message. All right. I'll post it. And then if you guys don't have any other questions, I'll let you go. No? Okay. Well, thanks for joining, ladies. I know it's late, Ida. I appreciate it.
Still got 20 minutes of my workout, and well, actually I have 20, 25, 30, 35 minutes. So I'm going to finish that, shower, and go to bed.
Oh my gosh, you're a rock star.
No work tomorrow.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
All right,
Nice seeing your faces.
I know. It's good to see you, Nancy. All right.
No sick baby today.
Oh, yeah, last time sick baby, that's right.
He was sick the whole week. 5 days of a fever.
Oh,
It was horrible.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I hate it when they're sick.
Yeah, aren't you sick too? You have the
My daughter gave me.
Works.
I'm much better.
Yeah.
But this morning was not cute.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, ladies. Well, if there's nothing else, I hope you have a good evening, and I will talk to you in 2 weeks, unless somebody calls for a one-on-one call. Okay. And then if you want to call Angie, Ida, and schedule a one-on-one call or whatever. So. All right.
All right.
Well,
Good night.
I'll talk to you later.
Bye.